Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Hurricane Harvey coming ashore as the fiercest hurricane to hit the U.S. in nearly a dozen years. Tonight it makes landfall as a Category 4 hurricane with winds reported near 130 miles an hour. Good evening, I'm Dennis Bragg. Geo Valley has the night off. A day of uncertainty and fear as Hurricane Harvey blasts ashore as the fiercest hurricane in nearly a dozen years with storm surges of up to 12 feet. Harvey expected to pummel the Gulf Coast of Texas and then linger for days, dropping as much as 3 feet of rain in some areas. Experts say that prolonged downpour could cause catastrophic flooding. Again, those high winds also a major problem. CBS News' Weijia Zhang has been in the thick of it all day long in Corpus Christi, and she's out there now, joins us live with the latest on this dangerous storm and what's going on as Hurricane Harvey comes ashore in the dark of night. Weijia.
Since Hurricane Harvey made landfall 1 hour ago, conditions here have drastically worsened. These sheets of rain are pounding down on us, and the wind gust makes it difficult to stand at times. You know, these conditions are far worse than many anticipated when they decided to stay. Hurricane Harvey pelted the Texas coastline with rain and whipping winds. In just 56 hours, Harvey grew from an unnamed storm to a life-threatening hurricane. This SUV was abandoned in Corpus Christi, partially submerged by storm surge. Fierce winds toppled the golden arches at this McDonald's in Galveston. And this business left a message for the monster storm. Gulf Coast residents were urged to pack up and leave, even if their area wasn't under mandatory evacuation.
We just couldn't risk it. We couldn't risk it flooding.
Samantha Burton decided to hunker down.
Having to uproot the children and leaving our home, taking our animals and everything would have just been really hard.
Governor Greg Abbott visited a storm shelter in San Antonio where evacuees are given meals and a place to sleep.
The most important thing that you can do is to safeguard your own life.
First responders say they're prepared to come out here and answer calls for help, but at some point it may be too dangerous to risk more lives. Harvey could swamp counties 100 miles inland, causing catastrophic flooding in Houston, home to more than 2 million people.
We are predicting an extreme event here with rainfall totals of 24 to 35, 36 inches of rain.
The storm has already impacted oil and gas production, and hurricane researchers warn the economic fallout and damage from Harvey could be on par with Hurricane Katrina. Late tonight, President Trump declared Texas a major disaster and ordered federal aid to go along with state and local recovery efforts, which will surely be needed given the severity of this monster storm, which continues to get worse. I'm Weijia Zhang in Corpus Christi, Texas. Now back to you.
Aaron's with me now. We've been watching just the ferocity of this storm coming on. It's just massive. And all the colors of the rainbow up there showing the intensity of this,
no
right?
No kidding. And I mean, it just made landfall within the last hour.
Yeah.
This is nothing compared to what Harvey is going to give Texas and that part of the country. The next thing is the prolonged rain event, which is just going to be remarkable. Nothing short of remarkable. I can't believe those numbers. I think that's astonishing. Yeah, we're talking 15, 20, 25, 30, even 35 inches of rain over the next several days, just because this thing is sandwiched in between two high pressures, so it doesn't have anything to steer it out of the way. It's just going to sit and kind of spin. Now, this is the first Category 4 hurricane that Texas has seen make landfall in 56 years, and of course, it's been, you know, almost 13 years since we've had a Category 3 or higher hurricane hit the United States soil. So this is going to be absolutely devastating. There it is right now on radar, making landfall over the next couple of days. It'll just kind of sit and spin in that vicinity. Severe coastal flooding expected, of course, with those insane storm surges. Now for us, I know we would gladly take a piece of that moisture. Nothing for us here for the extended forecast. We've got high pressure building in, and that is going to keep things very dry as we head into the next several days with sunshine and heat as well. I'm going to have more though coming up in the full forecast, Dennis.
Thanks, Aaron. All the Missoula County residents evacuated due to the 35,000-acre Lolo Peak fire are back home tonight. Late this afternoon, the Missoula County Sheriff's Office downgraded the evacuation orders for the Elk Meadows and Mill Creek areas to warning status. There's been no change to the evacuations in Ravalli County since yesterday, when some residents near Florence were allowed back home. We'll continue to track those throughout the weekend. Meanwhile, the Rice Ridge fire north of Sealy has grown to about 18,000 acres, is 16% contained. The Missoula County Sheriff's Office issued new evacuation orders and warnings late yesterday for a handful of places. Those specifics are up on our website. More than 1,000 homes and buildings remain threatened by the Rice Ridge fire. Authorities issued an evacuation order yesterday along one of the Forest Service roads, 17507, which runs north into North Cottonwood Canyon. A couple of cabins there have been affected. In other news, the head of the Montana National Guard says his troops are honored to be helping out with the major wildfires burning in western Montana. But Major General Matthew Quinn tells me the real credit goes to the firefighters, the local law enforcement, and other responders who are helping our communities through one of the worst fire seasons in years.
You know, we train for war, we're equipped for war, but this is our home. So for these guys to come out and help at the request of the agencies that are getting it done day in and day out, it's great for these soldiers to come out and help, and we never have a problem getting soldiers to come out and do it. But the credit goes to them, to the fire agencies and the police agencies and the Sheriff's Department, Forest Service that are out fighting these fires.
Came in to help with the Lolo Peak fire a week ago, giving Missoula and Ravalli County Sheriff's deputies some badly needed rest by manning roadblocks and helping with security to keep evacuated property safe. The Guard also deployed additional troops to help with the Myers fire south of Phillipsburg this week. Major General Quinn says residents can help make the troops assignment a smoother operation by cooperating with checkpoints, but also letting officers know if any problems crop up.
As our soldiers are out there, you know, they're trying to do the best job that they can and keep the public safe. That's what they're out there to do. So I would just ask the public to cooperate, work with us, and if we're having a challenge, let us know.
Just under 225 National Guard troops are supporting fire operations in the state right now. In other news tonight, a University of Montana faculty union says the school is violating its own policy by telling 40 lecturers they might not be rehired. Tonight, the union tells our Eric Clements the decision to cut short year-long contracts is changing an agreed-upon policy.
Lecturers have always been offered annual contracts until right now. And so they've changed the rules of the road for these folks suddenly, without any notice, and thrown really their whole lives, and frankly all of the departments that they serve and the students that take their classes, you know, up in the air.
That's the root of the problem in the eyes of the University Faculty Association, a faculty union at the University of Montana. They argue that when UM's administration informed a number of lecturers that they may not be retained after 2017's fall semester, administrators violated school policy. Policy that UFA spokesperson Lee Banville says
was re-embraced and reaffirmed by the university just a couple months ago.
This prompted the UFA to file a formal grievance,
saying that basically the University of Montana violated their agreement by changing this contract from being a year to a semester, and then by not really giving them a semester's notice because they did this on the eve of the semester.
Banville says the grievance aims to hold administrators to their commitments.
What we've asked for is to give these people their annual contract and basically reinstate lecturers that were on the books to teach for a full year.
According to Banville, the UFA wants to work with administrators to reach a solution that works for all parties. Banville worries that UM's actions set a dangerous precedent and could strain future relations between administration and faculty.
This lecturer issue really raises questions about their willingness to stick to the agreements that have been made between faculty and the administration.
In Missoula, Eric Clements, MTN News.
And the situation at the University of Montana administration, they wouldn't comment on camera. They did release a statement saying, quote, President Stearns received the grievance. She is reviewing it. There is a life timeline by which she will respond to the UFA. We respect the grievance process and will prepare and provide our response accordingly. We'll stay on this story. Coming up on KPAX, Aaron says temperatures will rise through the weekend. I hope you enjoyed the last couple of days of cooler weather because we're in for a change. Those details coming up next on the 10 o'clock news.